Think of a successful business. I'm sure names like Google, Amazon, Meta, and Tesla come to mind. But what do these hugely profitable organizations have in common? They all have solid, robust business strategies that help them achieve their goals. So, what is a business strategy, and why is having one so important? Welcome to Scaling for Success. We're all about helping businesses grow profitably, scale, and move to the next level. If you're looking for consultancy and mentorship that really makes a difference, subscribe to our channel or visit the Scaling Management Consultant Group website. Links in the description below. In today's video, we're discussing how to have a strong business strategy. A business strategy usually comprises of three elements: a company's business objectives, information about its target market, and strategic management plans for all areas of the organization. These parts all line up to make sure the business is in a position to achieve its goals, both in the long and short term. This is important because successful companies have to find a way to connect their wider mission statement, a more idealistic direction and goal, with the on-the-go decision-making realities of everyday operations and the things that are thrown their way as things change in the real world. This is where the business strategy comes in, aligning everything to make sure that in the immediate future and longer term, there is a real-world plan to help the company continue moving towards its ultimate goals in a way that can be measured against to track success. Knowing what a business strategy is and why it's important to have is part of the puzzle. The next step is to build one that works for your organization. You need to fully understand your business, products, and market position objectively with an unbiased and neutral view, and build a strategy that lines everything up with your values and long-term vision. First, you need to decide on what the core values of your business are. The business strategy is like a route on a navigation system, but you need to set the destination before you can even think about how to get there. Think about the problems or pain points you aim to solve with your product or service. This will help you work out what your end goal is and your company's vision for the future. From there, you can begin setting out clear values and key markers that you want your company to have or hit to support achieving that long-term vision. Ethically, what are you going to strive for as you follow this path to success? And what does this mean for the people in your organization and their behaviors too? Once you've got your vision for the future and your values in place, it's time to take a long, hard look in the mirror and take stock of what you have. Analyze the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that your business currently has or faces. Do you have enough human resources to take the next steps on the business's journey? Do you have adequate cash flow in place? Do you have an advantage in the current market, or see an opportunity to build an advantage over your competitors? Or are there threats internally or externally that could derail your plan before it's even in place? With this step, it's crucial to be as impartial and neutral as possible. You have to look at things with an unbiased viewpoint and be honest with yourself. If not, you could end up making flawed decisions further down the line. At its core, your strategy needs to set you apart from the competition and help you deliver unique value to your customers, which will help you grow. It's also time to define who or what your target is. Who is your customer? And how will your strategy work to bring them that additional value you want to deliver? Is your target a more generalist audience? Or would you be better served to target a more specific niche? All of this is key in dictating the direction of your business strategy. Once you've got the first two foundational steps done, it's time to start putting things into action. You need a team, not just any team. It has to be a group of people that are right for the job of coming up with the winning strategy and then implementing it across your business. The strongest teams are usually made up of members of upper management who can set the goals and targets right at the top, middle management who can help implement this across their teams and oversee the execution of the plan, and also the operators who are providing your service or selling your product. For the strategy to work, input from top to bottom is vital, and they may have a better understanding than anyone else of your service or product. Now, you've got your team, you have your vision, and you're ready to start putting a strategy together. Before you go any further, though, it's probably a good time to do a little research and find some successful businesses in your sector or a similar sector to the one you operate in. Look at the success they achieved, and then look at how they made it happen, how they grew their share in the market. Brand awareness and profit-making capabilities is a great place to borrow from, but also how they did so whilst keeping their workforce happy and productive. You can often find interviews or webinars with board members or upper management professionals from successful businesses and take it from there. You shouldn't feel guilty for borrowing from someone else's playbook for success. After all, they probably built theirs by looking at success elsewhere and listening to other businesses too. It's finally time to take all of that knowledge and the team of experts from across your business you've put together and get to work on the strategy at last. This is where you'll need to set out the goals of your strategy, but make sure you space them out at realistic intervals. You're going to push your organization to be the best at everything it can be, but you have to make sure you set goals that can be realistically met. There's no point in setting targets that can't be reached or measured here. Have to sometimes start small too. Over time, you'll be able to develop balancing the ambition of your business and the ability your organization has to get there. This balance is essential to having a long-term plan, rather than just plotting for the near future and making sure you'll be around to fulfill it. Businesses that try to achieve too much too soon often fail. It's crucial to plan for the long term. And not just quarter to quarter, but to have that shorter-term timeline in mind as well. Flexibility is key too. Over the last few years, that has never been truer. Things can change overnight, as the COVID pandemic taught us. And whilst your plan should be concrete, you have to make sure that it can flex around those day-to-day changes as they happen. Business has to adapt to survive, and this should never be in spite of the plan you're working to. The end goal should always stay the same, but be prepared to react and change the plan if you need to reflect changes to external factors. Next, it's time to filter down those goals and targets through to every part of the business by amending the goals, targets, KPIs, and cultures throughout the company so that they're all aligned with the new business strategy. And after all, there's no point in having a strategy in place at the top of the organization if it isn't being followed down to the base level, as this will make it significantly harder to hit the goals and targets you're setting, if not impossible. Send the strategy to stakeholders throughout your business, asking for their feedback. This can not only sometimes highlight something that's missing from your strategy or something you haven't thought of, but also build trust and positive culture throughout, showing you value every level of the company and see everyone as being on the same team. If you do this, it'll be so much harder to lose focus of the strategy and your core values as a business. That's all we have time for in today's video, how to have a strong business strategy. Like this video if you found it helpful, and for more content just like this, subscribe to our channel or visit the Scaling Management Consultant Group website at scalinggrp.com.